guys, today we're going to talk about the powerlifting bench press. Almost all of our women use the bench press. We love this style of benching because not only does it work your shoulders, your lats, your chest, your triceps, but we even get a good leg and glute workout out of it. Now, Taylor's going to be helping me today, and we're going to go over as many of the details as we can, but if you have any specific questions to you or your bench, please feel free to comment below or send us a video of your bench and we can help you out. One of the first things you need to understand when you're learning to bench press is about scapular retraction. Now, it sounds like a really weird concept. You maybe have never heard of it before, but it really is pretty simple. So what it is we kind of naturally have more of like a slouchy posture just from like cell phones, driving, sitting at desks. So instead of being like this is protraction where I'm rounded forward. We need to really focus on pulling your shoulders back and squeezing your shoulders together. So in a bench press position, instead of being like this, we're really thinking of pulling our shoulders together and squeezing them like this. So to get good scapular retraction, you are just thinking of pulling from right here, pulling your shoulders down and back and squeezing them together. Okay, so when you very first lay on the bench, you're just going to lie down on it. And now you want to be sure that your eyes are about underneath the bar. The reason being, if your eyes are too far back behind the bar, you're going to end up hitting the hooks here as you try to lock out the weight. So once your eyes are under the bar, you'll see Taylor's shoulders here are kind of relaxed. You are going to retract your scapulas like we already talked about, kind of squeeze them together like that, and it's going to help you get really, really tight. Now when doing this, depending on your flexibility, it may create a big arch in your back, it may not create a big arch in the back. It's important to understand you don't have to have a big arch. All you really need to have is shoulders squeezed together. Now with shoulders squeezed together, when she comes down, brings her hands towards her chest, you'll see her shoulders stay in a really good, nice, tight position. Versus come up, relax your shoulders. Now if she were to come down like this, when she comes down at the bottom, her shoulders like rotating forward like this. We want to avoid this, so keeping it retracted is going to help keep it nice and tight. Okay, next you're going to grab the bar and you're going to bring your feet back. So we're going to pull your feet back pretty much as far as you can, just so we can get really good tension in your legs. There's two options. You can push through your toes, or you can push through your heels. You can experiment a little. You may want to bring your feet out a little, bring them in a little, bring them really far back. It really is up to your body and what feels right for you. We just want to be sure when you push through your legs that your butt is staying on the bench. So something else to think about, when you are pushing through your legs, you want to push your legs and think of bringing your body this way. Perfect. It's almost like a leg extension with your leg. You're thinking of kind of pushing your quads and driving this way versus pushing through your legs and driving your butt up. Exactly. So to bring it all together, scapulas are retracted, eyes are underneath the bar, feet are in your preferred placement, and then you're grabbing the bar nice and tight. You want to be sure when you're grabbing the bar, you don't have a bend in your wrist. So do not be like this, and instead be nice and stacked and tight. Right now, if you're watching this, even take your hands, put your hand like this, relax it where it's bent back. When you do this, you're going to feel really loose and you're not really going to feel anything here. Whereas if you turn it like this and squeeze, you're going to feel your bicep, your tricep, your lats, everything get nice and tight, and that's very important. So wrists neutral, squeeze the bar as tight as you can, and then you're just bringing the bar out right over your body. That's perfect. Now when you're ready to actually start the bench, you have tension in your legs. You're going to push your chest up as high as you can and bring the bar down to your chest. Good. Now once you get here, you're going to use full leg drive and push your legs back like that. It's not very heavy, so you even notice Taylor's whole body move. That's totally great. That means she's nice and tight. All right, one of the last things we're going to talk about on bench press is where to put your hands. Hand placement is something that is very different for every lifter, and it may even take you years to figure out what is truly optimal for you. But we wanted to give you a little rundown and give you some ideas of different things to try. So there's a wide range of what you can do. You can go as wide as having your pointer fingers on the outside of your the rings. This is as wide as you would ever go. And you could go as narrow as having your pointers kind of at the end of the knurling or the grippy, rough part of the bar. Here is really more of a close grip bench, and unless you've recently had a breast augmentation, or you have really tight pecs, or you have shoulder mobility problems, you are likely never going to be here. Honestly, the wider you can get, probably the stronger you're going to be. It just may take you a while to go from narrow to wide. So if you are a little bit wider on your grip, the biggest, most important thing to keep in mind is a wider grip is not going to have to tuck your elbows in as much. So Taylor's using a wider grip here, so when she does this, her elbows will come in slightly, but mainly her elbows are just going to come down. Perfect. You'll see in this position when she does this, we see a straight line with her forearm. That's the main thing we're looking for with a good bench press. Perfect. Now bring your hands in. Whereas if you're a more narrow lifter or you're experimenting with a more narrow grip, bring it up. When she gets the bar to her chest, you're going to see that her arm is going to tuck way more in to maintain this straight line. Do a couple reps there. Perfect. Good. And rack it. Good. So when you grab the bar a little bit more narrow, you're going to be tucking your elbows more, and you're likely going to be bringing it down a little lower on your chest. Whereas if you're a little wider, your elbows are going to be tucking less, and you're probably going to be bringing it a little bit higher on your chest. Regardless of which grip you use, you just want to really be sure to keep your chest up, scapulars retracted, and be sure you're driving through those legs. Okay, now let's go over some of the faults and common mistakes people make. So when you're working on your bench press, you can watch for these and be sure you're not doing them. One of the first biggest ones is people having their wrists in the poor position. I want to show you more actively what that looks like. Good. When she does this, come down, she is not stable. It's probably hurting her wrist. She's not tight in her biceps, her forearms, her triceps. Go ahead and bring it up. This is the incorrect wrist position. To fix it, I think of rolling my knuckles forward and squeezing the bar as hard as I can. Another common fault is not keeping the scapula retracted and letting your shoulders sag. Again, you see here, now come back up. Here she's tight, shoulders are tight. Do one like that, come down. Very good, perfect. Now she lets her chest slouch, good. She comes down, she's very loose, her shoulder isn't tight. And honestly, that's where a lot of shoulder and bicep injuries come from on the bench press. Another fault people do is when they're trying to use their legs, they push through their legs and it shoots their butt up. Come down and up, good. You want to keep your butt on the bench by pushing back versus up. Very good. Something else people do that I won't make Taylor do, but is hold their breath throughout the whole set. You want to be sure you're taking a big breath in, bracing, coming down, and then exhaling at the top. Perfect. Another thing, we talk a little bit about where to put your hands on the bar and how we should create this nice straight line with the forearm. If she were to bring the bar too far back on her chest, she can't even do it very well. Yeah, when she does it, you see how now there is an angle this way with her forearm. Or vice versa, if she brings it too low on her chest, now the angle is diagonally this way. So come back up, maintaining the nice straight arm with your forearm, come back down, and up is going to be the best way to do it. The best way I've ever heard someone describe it, we can rack it, is just like if you were going to punch someone, you would punch straight on with a straight arm. You wouldn't be punching like in a diagonal line in either direction. You can show both. Good. So we're just trying to maintain the straight lines and keeping everything super tight. All right, now we're going to bring it all together and show you everything all at once. So Taylor's going to get into position. Her back is tight, chest is up, her legs are in a position that she can really drive through them. She's grabbing the bar, eyes under the bar, wrists stacked. I'm going to lift off for her. We really recommend you guys either bring a friend to the gym or ask someone to help spot you. It's going to make your lifts that much better and most importantly, safer. But here we go. So her wrists are stacked. I'm going to give her a 3, 2, 1 count so she knows when to expect the bar. 3, 2, just take a big breath right there. Perfect. Wrists stay stacked, chest stays up. You'll notice her use her legs to drive it back. Perfect. Chest staying up. Nice smooth bar path. She's taking a big breath up in at the top, holding it in her tummy, and exhaling again up at the top. That's perfect. Again, wrists stacked. You watch her forearm here. It's perfectly straight. That's what we talked about earlier. Good. Perfect. Last rep. Pushing back. Good. All right, that's our bench demo. Thanks, guys.